Okay, hi. My name is Mike, and I'm here with quite a few of my colleagues from the University of beautiful Oslo, Norway, where we are all affiliated with the Ritmo Center for Interdisciplinary Studies in Rhythm, Time, and Motion. And as you heard, we are responsible for this installation that you see in the very back corner of the room here, and some of you may have already interacted with it, and we invite all of you to interact with it if you haven't already. And I just want to tell you a little bit about what's going on with it so you know what to do when you go back there. So we have these musical tapping robots. They basically just tap out rhythms on whatever surface you set them on. And we have them sitting on some glockenspiels back there, so you'll hear them playing glockenspiel music. And then we have this wooden sign on the floor. And if you tap out a beat on that sign, the robots will try to synchronize with the tempo of your tapping. And if you stop tapping your foot, then the robots will stop playing. And then we also have a couple of Myo armband sensors, which have already come up a few times in this conference. But if you wear the sensors on your arms, then you can sort of control the music that the robots are generating. I should maybe say you influence the music they're generating. Yeah. So basically you tap your foot and you wave your arms. And maybe I'll just play you a quick video of what that looks like so you have an idea of what you're supposed to do. Yeah, I think that's enough of that. The setup we have back there, yeah, thanks. The setup we have is a little bit different than this one. This was kind of a little bit older, but what we have back there, I think sounds really nice. And to me, it feels really fantastic to use it, especially once you get used to it. So I really like using it. I hope you really like using it. And yeah, please check it out after I'm done talking on your lunch break or one of the breaks later today. And then I should say also that we have a survey, and it would be a big help for us after you interact with it. If you could take our survey, you'd really be contributing in a meaningful way to our research if you did that. And if you go back there, I've printed out some little cards that have this URL on it, yeah, where you can photograph this. And I'll put this back up again at the end of my talk so you can see it. So yeah, please play with the robots and fill out the survey. I think that's all I want to say about the installation as such. I don't think it really benefits from being over-explained. But what I do want to just briefly talk about some of the reasons that I built these robots to begin with. The robots are called Dr. Squiggles, by the way. And the simple answer to the reason why I built these is because this was kind of the simplest thing that I could think of that would allow me to study a range of questions that I'm interested in. And when I say this is the simplest thing I can build, it really is just a pile of solenoids connected to a Raspberry Pi in there. So it's mechanically trivial. And being able to cut out some mechanical complexity makes it easier to study other things. And the things I'm interested in, well, I'm interested in human-robot interaction, how do humans interact with these things, and I'm also interested in how these robots interact with each other. And I think today I'm just going to tell you about some of the human-robot interaction questions that I'm interested in. And maybe I want to show you a quick video of what my normal setup looks like because I'm not normally using the muscle sensors. That's something that's special for today. Normally what I have are these robots listening through contact microphones. So they kind of just listen to one thing. And in this setup, I have one robot listening to what the person is playing, and then I have the other robots listening to the first robot. And they're programmed in this video to sort of adapt to what they hear. So they're kind of trying to mimic what they hear. They're not literally repeating what they hear, but they're trying to kind of statistically play something that's similar to what they hear. So you'll hear the person playing a rhythm and the other robots adapting to that. Yeah. So that's this kind of the setup I use when I study human-robot interaction in this context. And just broadly, the questions that I have are like, what makes some activities fun? Like, why do some people voluntarily spend long amounts of time, sometimes over the course of their whole life, like, and derive great enjoyment from certain activities? And how do you design a system like this to be maximally fun so that people are actually motivated to use it? And then once you've designed a system that's fun, how can you leverage that system to help people actually gain skills or achieve goals that they have set for themselves? And in this context, I sort of think of, fun and improvement as being in this feedback loop. Because if you are learning a new skill and you get a little bit better at it, then you will naturally enjoy it more. And if you enjoy it more, you might be more motivated to practice. And if you practice more, you should be getting better. The caveat there is that despite whatever Malcolm Gladwell told you, just spending time practicing doesn't necessarily make you better. You also have to practice in the right way. So there's a design question here, which is how do you design an interactive system to nudge people in the direction of doing those behaviors that are actually going to make them better, right? That's kind of the thing that completes this feedback loop, is you have to help people practice in the right way. You have to make it fun to do the thing that makes you better. And there are really two demographics that I'm interested in studying at the moment. The first is amateur musicians, people who play musical instruments at home as a hobby. To get better at your instrument, you really have to do one of the things you have to do are rhythmic drills. Okay, I did such drills for years and years in my undergraduate. A lot of people find them to be tedious and boring. And I think a lot of people wouldn't have done them if they didn't really have to do them for their exams and so forth. But maybe we can design a system that makes it fun, fun to play rhythms with the robot. And while the person is there playing rhythms with the robot, maybe we're also helping them gain rhythm-related skills that will help make them better on their instrument more generally. And the other group of people that I'm interested in are kids with developmental coordination disorder, which, if you don't know, DCD is sort of a pathological clumsiness that you see in kids, and it's massively underdiagnosed. Something like 5% of kids are thought to have developmental coordination disorder, and they struggle in particular with tasks involving very precise timing. Yeah, and they also really hate practicing timing-related activities because they know that they're not good at these activities because they're tormented in school all the time for the way they perform on, movement-related and timing-related activities. But again, maybe we can design a toy that's fun to use, a rhythmic toy that's fun to use that they might want to use just because they're intrinsically motivated to play with it. But then while they're there playing with it, maybe there's some way that we can help them gain skills that might actually help them in their daily lives. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to say about that for now. So yeah, in conclusion, please play with the robots and please fill out the survey when you're done. Yeah.